Today on CCX News, help for the childcare industry. The governor's office says an expanded program should help businesses and workers. Minnesota's lieutenant governor was in Plymouth on Monday touting new efforts to grow the pools of childcare workers.
We oftentimes talk about the first 5 years and the life of a child being foundational to the success for that individual child, which is absolutely true, but it really is important to the overall success of our entire state.
Peggy Flanagan visited Yellow Brick Road Early Childhood Development Center in Plymouth. She announced an expansion to the state's dual training grant program. Almost $500,000 is being used to help train new child care workers. Industry officials say they need the help getting new staff up to speed.
We can't do it alone. Much like parents can't raise children alone. You know, we're all in a village together, and so for us to have support, both financially and just from a collaborative standpoint, is really, really important.
The dual training program provides classroom and on-the-job training. Grants are used to reimburse businesses for their training costs. As we approach the 23-year anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, people gathered in Brooklyn Park on Monday to honor the first responders who lost their lives.
Responded.
Edinburgh USA Golf Club hosted a ceremony to honor the sacrifices of those who died on duty on 9/11. The event was part of the Remembering 9/11 golf tournament, which raises money for the Frontline Foundation. The nonprofit helps provide financial support to families of first responders who died or were injured in the line of duty.
Those that charged into that building, those buildings that came down, unfortunately in our society, the farther we get away from those events, people forget that it's actually possible, that it's going to happen. I know that on our police department and our fire department, we continue to train for the worst of worst days, and that was the worst day.
Since 2018, the Frontline Foundation has paid out $575,000 in death benefits and equipment funding. A St. Cloud man suffered serious injuries after being struck by a car as he tried to cross Highway 252 in Brooklyn Park over the weekend. The incident happened at the intersection of Brookdale Drive and Highway 252 around 11:30 Saturday night. The Minnesota State Patrol says a 26-year-old Burnsville man driving a Buick Encore was heading north on 252 when he struck a pedestrian crossing the intersection. The 34-year-old man who was hit suffered life-threatening injuries. He was taken to North Memorial Health Hospital in Robbinsdale. Authorities say alcohol is not believed to be a factor in the crash. The State Patrol is investigating the incident. A Maple Grove man was killed in a motorcycle crash last week while he was on his way home from enlisting in the Air Force. According to the Hennepin County Medical Examiner, 18-year-old Landon Cole died of multiple blunt force injuries on September 5th when his motorcycle collided with another vehicle at the intersection of Vicksburg Lane and 28th Avenue North. First responders' life-saving measures were unsuccessful. Investigators are still trying to determine what happened. An online fundraiser on the website Give a Hand says Cole was a devoted big brother, son, nephew, and loving boyfriend. The website said he enlisted in the Air Force that morning and was excited to join the military and travel the world. Drivers in Brooklyn Park may start to notice new hardware installed on some of the city's traffic lights. The police department is looking to beef up its surveillance equipment with the new license plate reader cameras. These cameras would be installed in the city's highest crime areas and cost about $30,000. The department wants to start out installing 8 of these license plate readers. Police Inspector Elliot Faust says they can help track stolen vehicles, as well as help with shootings and missing persons.
And overcomes a lot of other concerns too when it comes to bias-based policing and things like that. It's technology that is completely 100% objective. So I think it is the way of the future, and I think we're just really starting to see this take off in our area, so it's very exciting.
The police department is asking the city council to buy the cameras on Monday. Back to school means different needs for area families. That keeps area food shelves busy. At PRISM in Golden Valley, I spoke with the volunteers who make sure those shelves are stocked. Work never slows at PRISM in Golden Valley, and that's for good reason.
The numbers show that we have enough volunteer hours that are close to 10 full-time employees.
Much of the program's work is powered by volunteers. Grant coordinator Sarah Squillis would know. She once was one herself.
We were always busy. The need was there year-round.
Still, in the fall, the need at the food shelf looks a little different. Executive Director Michelle Ness says families have less of a need for lunches and more of a need for consistent, healthy meals.
Families are looking for fresh food. Families want to cook. So it's the perishables. So it's the cheese, it's the eggs, it's the meat, veggies. That's what people are looking for.
Families come to the marketplace once a month and stock up on a week's worth of food. Ness says the number of first-time families who need it grows by 300 every month.
We'll see as many as 500 families in a given week. So there is a great deal of need.
All those foods are donated, and behind the scenes, volunteers keep all those options in line.
We simply could not be here and deliver the services that we do without volunteers.
They lift boxes, sort snacks, and organize the space. Tim Tapper is one of them.
It's pretty much similar to the back end of a grocery store.
As the cooler weather settles in, volunteers are always needed. And Tapper says there's nothing like it.
It's fulfilling. It's nice to be able to give back to the community.
If you're interested in volunteering with PRISM, you can learn more information online. We'll link it at ccxmedia.org. Osseo Pride was on display this weekend for the city's annual Lions Roar parade. Thousands of smiling faces lined the parade route Saturday afternoon to see more than 70 parade entries roll down Central Avenue, including our very own Rusty Ray. We'll leave you now with more sights and sounds of the Osseo Lions Roar festivities.
From the Ray family coming down Central Avenue, Rusty works with cities to tell stories about what the stories the cities really want to get out.
The Totino Grace football team reached the state Class 4A quarterfinals last season. After beating Fridley in the opener this season, the Eagles faced a team that won the 4A championship 2 seasons ago. Jay Wilcox has highlights.
Totino Grace football looking to improve to 2-0 as they host 2022 4A champion Simley. Simley strikes early. Christian Urbina hits Isaiah Wilson on the slant. He slips one tackle and then it's off to the races. Wilson goes 71 yards for the touchdown, and it's 7-0 Spartans just a minute and a half into the game. Grace quickly answers, though. Michael Strong takes the handoff and makes his way to the end zone for a 15-yard score. The Eagles and Spartans are tied up 7-7 after one quarter. First play of the second quarter, and Jake Person throws the fade to standout receiver Josiah Young for the touchdown. Totino Grace has the lead for good at 14-7. They keep scoring. Strong powers in for the touchdown with just over 4 minutes left in the second. The Eagles' lead is 21-7. After they get a defensive stop, wingback Markel Keaton takes the handoff, and look at the great blocking to open a seam for Keaton. He goes 57 yards for the touchdown as Totino Grace leads 27-7 at the half. They go on to win 34-14. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Providence Academy took a big step up in competition level last season and took some lumps. They faced a longtime power in Class 4A Friday in what turned out to be a defensive battle. Ches Moots has highlights.
Providence Academy 1-0 on the year, Becker the same and one of the best in the state in 4A. First drive of the game, the Lions make a statement with a big stop on 4th and short. Defensive tackle and University of Minnesota commit Abu Tarawali led the charge. PA took over and marched into the red zone but had to settle for 3. Noah Boro puts a 25-yard field goal through the uprights, Providence Academy in front. Second quarter, the Bulldogs answer back. Owen Engel takes the jet sweep around the edge for 6. Becker up 7-3. Under a minute before halftime, Providence knocking on the doorstep of the end zone. Magnus Hansen throws a dime in the corner of the end zone. Matthew Hunter comes down with it. A beautiful catch and throw gives the Lions a 9-7 lead at halftime. No team scored in the third quarter, but with 4:24 left in the fourth, Becker takes the lead back. Cody Clapp barrels his way across the goal line for 6. Next drive, Providence down to their last chance. 4th and 6, Hansen completes the pass to Joe Bergholt, but he's stopped in his tracks. Landing Kujawa with the open field tackle. Becker holds on and beats Providence Academy 13-9. In Plymouth, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
It's been a rough go for Hopkins football in recent seasons. The Royals are hoping to improve this year. They face Buffalo in week 2.
A good-sized student section at Hopkins to watch the Royals take on Buffalo.
Bison quarterback Grant Benson fakes the handoff and keeps it himself, running it in for a 2-yard touchdown on the final play of the first quarter. It's 7-0 Buffalo after 1. Second quarter, Hopkins quarterback Dylan Caspers with a nice throw down the sideline to an open Jaden Moore. It's a 47-yard gain for the Royals down to the Buffalo 25-yard line. A few plays later, same combination again. Caspers throws to Moore, who leaps to make the grab of the end zone for a touchdown, and it's a 7-6 game. But on the ensuing kickoff, Buffalo answers. Jackson Cross finds a lane, and he is in the clear. No one is able to catch him. Cross takes it to the house for an 89-yard touchdown return. The Bison lead 14-6. Next offensive series for Buffalo, and Benson rolls out. He has time and finds his tight end Hans Peterson in the front corner of the end zone. It's an 8-yard touchdown. Buffalo leads 21-6 at the half. Third quarter here, a great run by Bison running back Noah Whitkey, cutting inside and then bouncing it back out to the edge. Whitkey is into the secondary, and then he's gone. It's a 92-yard scoring run for the senior. Buffalo rushes for 245 yards as a team. And they go on to win at Hopkins. 37-20 is the final.